Welcome to Inquiry into Self. And I'd like to discuss sadness and clarify some confusion that may have happened from things I've said. So, first of all, if it's not been clear yet, we are the universe. There is nothing that we're experiencing, desiring, moving towards or away from that isn't a expression of the infinite. So you can't go wrong. There's no judgment. Every experience is exactly right. So I'm going to just emphasize that by saying all experiences are right. Okay, next, infinite OKness. Many of us have had experiences when we know this infinite OKness. We know this peace that transcends all experiences, all circumstances. And then we have a life circumstance that just floors us. And we wonder, what happened? Or we look at some kind of a situation and we say, if the universe is the source, if the infinite is the source of both sides of this experience, the thing causing the pain and the thing experiencing the pain, how in the world does that make sense? So when we're stuck in that kind of a place, why in the world is this bad thing happening? Then that's where the things that I'm sharing can be one path. They can be helpful. Not for everybody, but for some people, they will resonate. Okay, so say we've got this situation, and so I'm going to go actually to an example, my friend. So I have a very close friend who's having some pretty severe health challenges. She's 49 and she has symptoms of congestive heart failure. She has such severe chronic pain in all her joints that she's relying on methotrexate, and they can't find another option at this point, which is a chemo that you're not supposed to stay on for very long. So it's really been an uphill battle for her. And when I hear her, I have a lot of compassion for what she's going through. I also have confidence that there is the strength for her to go through whatever she needs to go through. So as I listen to her, I can express both the compassion with this inner underlying confidence. So when she gets off the phone with me, she doesn't feel like, I just brought Lisa down. Now I've ruined Lisa's day, or, subtly feel at all negative. She feels heard, and she actually feels that inner hope. Whether or not it transfers to her or not, I have that inner hope, and she can feel that. So how do you arrive there? Well, let me just first say, there was a time when I was in the hospital in extreme pain. They were giving me the highest dose of morphine they were allowed to give me, and it didn't work. And it was for a few days, and it felt like somebody was tearing my body in two, or trying to. And when I thought about it, I didn't know how I was going to endure this. But what happened was I didn't. I just spent each moment enduring it. It was like, okay, right now I'm in this overwhelming experience of pain, and I just felt the pain, and somehow there was the strength to endure it from that moment. And then there was the next moment. There was no total experience. There was no imagining. There was no overall enduring. It was simply just a moment by moment getting through, and there was the strength for it. So, and this whole channel is lots of other experiences. So there are the option to look at where are the things that make an experience less bad than what we're imagining it to be. So I don't need to imagine worse onto an experience. I can get down to the bare bones of it and the minimum experience moment by moment, and then notice, what is showing up. And then I can also notice where are the opportunities. And the whole channel is about that. I don't need to go through every example there. But I want to emphasize that what I'm sharing is not a philosophy. There's no philosophy about handling sadness. There's no philosophy about handling pain or suffering. There's no philosophy. Logically, it just turns into this new judgment, new things you have to attain. There's nothing to attain here. We're already whole and complete. I'm only sharing experience of what's available for those who are interested. And what is available is that at the same time, one part of me is rejecting an experience and saying, this is awful, this is terrible. I also can tap into the infinite that is generating that experience for the moment, that is finding something interesting in that experience for the moment. And so because I'm tapping into that part, I actually do experience that nothing is entirely bad. But again, it's not a philosophy. So when I'm tapping into that as an experience, I notice that the infinite is even in the places where I wouldn't expect the infinite to be. And that's when I'm back into noticing this infinite OKness. The infinite shows up everywhere. So I'm offering the viewpoint for those who are interested in being able to connect to the infinite everywhere. And that's only available if you are interested. And it's not required. There's zero requirement. In fact, I put that here. All human experience, staying in the suffering, staying in the pain, is part of this existence. And what is available is tapping into the infinite, even in the places where it's not expected. And that's the purpose of the videos I've been sharing.